Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Mr. Red. Welcome back to an episode of Formula 1 2020 My Team Career. This time for Season 2, so we started again in Australia. This is our car. Let's see what we are going to be able to do this season. Hopefully improve from the last one. Okay, so here we are, out for my first flying lap around the Australian track over here in Albert Park. Of course, Season 2, so high hopes for this season, hopefully to get more podiums than in Season 1, which I'm pretty sure the number was 4. And I kind of want to improve my result from like last season, I guess. So I went back and checked, and last season in the Australian Grand Prix I finished 11th, so hopefully even if I get into like the points like 10th, that would already be a huge improvement over last season. For the first kind of lap over here, actually kind of mess up, I will go out for a 5-6 setup. Our car isn't that good yet. I do switch to a 6-6 after, but it's this kind of a small mistake right at the start. But I of course signed a new driver. I wanted to sign Lewis Hamilton, but there's like driver demands and I didn't have enough like something wasn't good enough, and like the best, like highest rated driver I could get was Charles Leclerc, so we do have him in the car, in the second Red Sprint racing car, which is good. It's definitely gonna help us quite a lot. And at the end of the season, I got like loads of money, like 40 million or something, after already paying for Leclerc's contract. As we go over the line over here, P4 for now, even P3, no P4. But we go back to the garage, that's P11, so not the best, but that was on the balanced setup. So here we are out for my second flying lap. But as I said, I had like 40 million like credits, I guess, or like dollars to spend, even after going and buying, kind of like getting, like signing Leclerc's contract. So I upgraded every single like facility. I bought the upgrades, so we should kind of get more resource points and like better delivery time, which is good, of course. So I did that. I also had about 3,000 kind of like resource points to spend. So I bought, I'm pretty sure it was at least 2 or 3 updates, which should be coming maybe for the next Grand Prix at Bahrain, or I'm not too sure, maybe they're on after, which of course is going to be Chinese Grand Prix, I'm pretty sure. Or is it the... I don't know, I guess we'll see when we get up there. All I know is this lap already 8/10 up, which of course is brilliant, and it really shows how much just a slight tweak in the setup can do. This was literally just me going to the front wing setup, changing it from 5 to 6, and already a second up, so that is absolutely huge. And I'm pretty sure I could have maybe tweaked the setup even more to get an even better setup for this, but across the line, P11, when we get back to the garage, that is still a P11, only 1 second off the pole position right now. There might be time to kind of tell you the driver switches in this game over here as we go out for our third flying lap. So Gasly has moved to McLaren, which is insane. Sainz to Ferrari, which actually is going to happen next season, so that is kind of realistic. Perez has actually gone to Red Bull, so I'm not saying anything, but you know, Perez to Red Bull 2021 confirmed. Nick De Vries, our last teammate, I'm pretty sure, was it? I'm not... Yeah, we had him for a bit, I'm pretty sure. He actually went to Alfa Romeo. Giovinazzi went to Alfa Tauri. Latifi actually went to Alfa Romeo 2. Grosjean to Racing Point. Jordan King, our first teammate in this series, went to Haas. Albon went to Williams, which actually brought him out of like retirement, you could say, and Kimi Raikkonen actually retired. So that was all of the driver switches in this like season, well at the start at least, because there could be some switches halfway through. I'm not too sure if there is going to be, but I guess we'll see. But a couple corners left, already 4/10 up, which is good. I actually kind of messed up that corner over there. misjudged my braking corner, lose 2/10, but across the line it is going to be, let's see what it is going to be. It is going to be a P12, so definitely a big improvement on last season. I'm not really sure where we placed last time, but it's definitely an improvement.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but
so there you go. Lewis Hamilton in pole
position,
position, Pierre Gasly in second place. That's really good for him. Leclerc in P16, which is not good, but definitely a lot better than a Formula 2 driver. So let's get into the race.
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to Melbourne for the opening race of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to the Australian Grand Prix. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 16 corners and 3.3 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles an hour. The close proximity of the barriers makes accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as we get another year of Formula 1 underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice. They've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Pierre Gasly in P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Bottas, Vettel, Max Verstappen, and Sainz, Norris, Ocon, Ricciardo, and Sergio Perez, Kvyat, Red, Lance Stroll, and Magnussen, De Vries, Leclerc, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Nicholas Latifi, Grosjean, King, Russell, and Alexander Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
Okay, so here we are for the start of the Australian Grand Prix. We'll start in P12. The lights are going to go out. Rich mix on, ERS on. We get a decent start like we always do. I'm not really sure what it is with the AI not really starting too well. But down the inside we go, dive down, actually make some contact with Ocon over there. Actually have to stay into him a bit later on because trying not to spin off, so we actually had to make contact with him furthermore. But we do get it around him and into P8 at the start, which is really good. Sainz just ahead, and well, they are in the faster car, so I'm not really expecting to catch up. But it's actually quite good to see that we're actually keeping up with him. Because in the last season, especially at the start in Australia, we would have just lost this pack within about half a lap, but it actually took us about, as you can see, lap 2. We're still, well, we're just over a second. That was with a mistake on my part, just at the kind of, at the last corner. But it's definitely a lot better than it was last season, so we definitely have made improvements already, which is good. So we're hoping for like points and a podium as fast as possible. So on lap 5 I box for a new set of tyres because well, yeah, it's about a third of the way done this race, and the kind of like the preferred pit strategy was lap 7, so I tried doing like my trick and going 2 laps earlier, and I guess we're going to see where if it works. So we pitted in P8, a lap later loads of people pit, and we actually come out in P17. We actually get we still are in front of Ricciardo, so that's good. Lap later more people pit, and we are going to leave in P9, so I'm not really sure if there is a car in front of us, and there was it looks like a racing point, I'm pretty sure. I'm not really sure who that was, probably Grosjean. So we do get back up to P8. And on lap 13, really like late to the race, nothing really happened for majority of this race. By lap 13, Sainz actually has some kind of problem with the car over there, with the Ferrari, and he actually has to DNF, like retire the car. So that actually promotes us to P7, and a lap later, Grosjean actually is out of the session. Not really sure what happened to him, but he was behind us, so that didn't give us any points, which is kind of bad. But last lap over here, last corner, and we are going to finish in a P7 for our first race of the season, where we finished P11 last time. So that is already an improvement, which is good.
So Mercedes have won it, and what a great race it was. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, they certainly stood out as a drive with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot. A well-earned victory for Mercedes.
So here we go, P7 finish, which is absolutely great. Lewis wins from Bottas, from Gasly. He dropped one place, which actually not that bad, to be honest. So a P7 after the first race. Of course, there isn't too much to talk about because it is just the first race, but P5 in the constructor standings. So it is going to be interesting to see where we finish this season. Of course, last season we finished third, I'm pretty sure. No, it was fourth. So it's going to be interesting to see where we finish this season. Leclerc finished where he qualified, so hopefully he improves quite quickly. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.